Yo, what's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. So I think today it's time we have a little bit more of a serious conversation, and this conversation is going to involve gear and why anything past level 70 I feel is really just a waste of time, and more so than just the typical waste of time that we have while playing video games. I mean, we play video games to sit back, relax, have some fun, and waste time. But in this case, I really feel like this is a true waste of time, and you would be better off loading up pretty much any other video game once you hit level 70. Then yeah. And the reason I really feel strongly about that is because if we take a look at just uniques and uniques alone, right? So once we hit level, I think it's level 50, we can unlock tier 3, right? So we start getting those unique drops, and as you can see right here, I've got a pair of gloves from level 50. These are the sacred unique gloves. They're Frostburn gloves, and so for this video I'm going to use only unique equipment because it's always going to roll the same stats. And you can see right here, we look at level 50, level 79, level 88, and level 98. Now, what's the difference? And if you need to, take a moment and pause the video, because I'd really like you to pick out the difference between the gear you get that drops at level 50 and level 98. I'll give you a moment. Yeah, that's right, there isn't any. So, come on now, Blizzard, what are we doing here? Once we hit level 50, the same gear that you get at 50 is the same gear you're getting at 100, right? What's the point? We can look at, let's just pick the very first one, crit strike damage, okay? Look at your level 50, your minimum roll is 5% or 4.5%, and your max roll chance is 12%. All right, now let's go all the way over to the very end at level 98. Your minimum roll chance is 4.5 and your max roll is 12. Now all these gloves are upgraded to level 5 because I wanted to show you, this is what you're getting. This is the best you can do at these levels. And the best just isn't cutting it here, Blizz. What's the point? Once you hit level 50, the gear that drops there, it's the same gear that drops at 100. I've got some other gear. We're going to go ahead and link through a few different pieces of gear that I managed to acquire from a low level to a high level. And the next piece of gear is going to be Razorplate and Greaves. Okay, so as we're looking at Razorplate and Greaves, we're seeing a low level of 72 on the Razorplate and an upper level of 88. I didn't get much to drop in between there. Really, honestly, I'm not even sure what this is used for. I just thought it was a cool piece that, if I ever decided to roll maybe particularly a barbarian, I feel like it would probably be pretty good for. It's the same. If we look at the gear at the 72, the min is 8,613, max is 11,842. Same exact stats on the level 88 gear. And even though the eye level went up 4 points, the only thing that changed was a couple points in armor. So again, what are we doing? Have a look over at the Penitent Greaves. Okay, level 60 on one, level 83 on the other. Have a look at the movement speed. Min roll 15.8, max roll 26.2. Same thing on the level 83s. Again, both of those have been upgraded just so you can see what the max level would be for them. What are we doing here, Blizz? You kind of feel like as you go up in level, you should be getting slightly higher gear that drops. I understand, the whole roll percentage thing and Blizzard wanting you to keep playing their game over and over, but there's a fine line between encouraging people to continue playing and straight up just a time sink. And that's, we know Diablo, that's what it's all about. It's all about grinding that gear and getting better gear and getting better rolls. But folks, this is unique gear. It's gonna have the same exact stats on it every time it drops. What if we start factoring in, the non-unique gear? I'm sure everybody else knows the frustration. My Necromancer's level 100 now. You know, half my pieces are still from level 60. Not really, but I have some gear that's much older, right? Because in those 30, 20, 40 levels, nothing's changed. I haven't gotten a single thing to drop that would even be considered an upgrade. And at this point in time, I'm starting to feel like it really, truly is just a massive waste of time, right? And so I have one more unique here that I'd like to take a look at, and that's the Ring of Mendeln. Okay, so I got one of these to drop at 77, the other dropped at 98, same exact thing. 773 item power at 77, 7086 item power at 98, no difference. Stats are exactly the same. So you kind of feel, at least I feel like as you creep up in level, you should have a slightly higher item power that's guaranteed to drop. In which case I'm still cool with the, you know, the rolls, the Diablo rolls. What did it roll for you? What are you getting? You know, oh man, dang, I didn't get a high roll in this one. I'm gonna keep grinding for it. But you have a higher minimum and a higher maximum, right? That's kind of how it should work, at least you think. At this point, it's just a giant waste of time. What you got at 50, that's what you get. Now let's take a really quick look at the Curiosity Vendor. Okay, so all these rolls right here were done at level 100. If you really want to have a deep, in-depth look at the stats, feel free to pause the video along the way. I'm just going to hover over these really quickly. But you can see that, again, even from the Curiosity Vendor, the stats don't change when you start comparing the gear that you're getting dropped at 60 or 50 versus the gear that's coming from level 100. You know, I'm not trying to discourage people from playing. I'm just trying to let folks know that, hey, once you get to level 100, it's no different. And I think a lot of this fault really comes back to Blizzard and the way they designed the Paragon levels this go around. You know, instead of saying, hey, okay, level 50 or level 60 is going to be the maximum, and then we're going to give you a second tier of numbers that displays your Paragon levels that you know, accrue from 50 to 100. It kind of gives you that World of Warcraft feel. Hey, I have to hit level 100, and the expectation that, hey, at level 100 I should be getting slightly higher drops than I did at level 50. So while I guess at the end of the day it still has the same Diablo roll factor as previous times, I think Blizzard really kind of changed the perspective in what you should expect along the way by how they designed the Paragon system. So maybe part of that lies on them, part of that lies on us, or me in this case. It's just really frustrating. You know, when I was so happy to hit 100, I was like, hey, you know, I'm almost there, and then I get 100, and I keep farming these dungeons, and I keep farming, you know, the obols for the Curiosity Vendor, and just like D3, dang it, Kadala, you know, you pulled another one over me again. It's just, I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see what seasons bring and what changes they bring, because let's face it, this is still a beta test. That's what this is. This game was not polished, this game was not finished. And I would almost be willing to bet that Diablo 4 was not even put into production until the day that they realized that Diablo Immortal was gonna fall flat.
Hey, just was wondering, is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke?
No, it's a fully fledged Diablo experience on mobile, which everybody will get to play, and hopefully.